You see how it's hitting us? It's no joke. It's no joke. So I'm telling you, I was telling her, and I'm telling you that, one of the signs that maybe right now you feel a calling for going abroad. I'm sorry for the interruption. We were interrupted, and I'm telling you, this Mercury retrograde is no joke. It's no joke. So, bear with me and bear with technology. Hi, everyone. For those of you who are already in the live, welcome back. And so I'm gonna start it all over again so that I can use the video and share it later on this channel. So I was telling you that sometimes, maybe right now, you're feeling a call for going abroad, for moving, for changing territories, for going far away, changing completely, relocating. Maybe you're feeling this call right now, and maybe you're afraid, or maybe you don't understand why. You don't understand why. And I'm gonna share with you a story, my story. Sometimes people ask me, well, how can you be talking about African therapies and you don't live in Africa? And I tell them, well, this is not where I'm supposed to be living. Sometimes in families, in family groups, you always have a representative for the family. Someone from the family who goes abroad and spreads, who is the ambassador of the family. And this morning, when I was meditating, I had this clear message from my ancestors who were telling me, did you forget that you are our ambassador? Did you forget your mission? We told you that already. We spent thousands and thousands and thousands of money and energy and moved the planets and everything so that you could speak English and spread our knowledge all over the world. Did you forget it? And I was in tears this morning, of course, because I did not forget it, but I was so, restricted by fear that each time I said, yeah, let's do this. And each time, I go back, I always find an excuse not to do what I'm supposed to do. And this morning, I was having a conversation with a beautiful girl. We are having an interview for her podcast, so I'll give you the link anytime soon. I had to reschedule it because, as you can see, and you can hear, I'm not really in my best shape. I caught a bad cold. My voice is, so I said, you know what, I don't want to be in a podcast with that voice, so let's reschedule it. And we were having this conversation, and she was telling me, well, she's from Guadeloupe. She was born in Guadeloupe, and she just moved in Senegal. And I was like, oh, wow. How can you do this? Like, I could never live in Senegal, never. And she told me, what? But you're Senegalese and not you. And I said, when I was a little girl, I'm the ambassador of my family, and it's not my place to stay where I belong. I am made to go abroad, to spread the knowledge and to be the ambassador for my family and my family. And so when I go to Senegal, I don't feel like home. I don't. But when I go to Guadeloupe, I do. When I go to Florida, I do, which is weird. When I go to Marrakesh, I do, which is weird to some extent. But I've always known that, and I've never felt, this feeling that some people from the African diaspora sometimes have towards Africa. Like, this feeling of guilt that maybe you should go back, maybe you should be the one rebuilding the country. Sometimes you're better outside than inside. And I've always known that it was not my calling to live in Africa or even to live close to my parents. Because when I was a little girl, and this was the story that I wanted to tell you, and maybe you have this souvenir of your own childhood, and maybe if you have this calling of wanting to, if you have this calling to wanting to go to the somewhere else, maybe you will hear that, remember that, and you will say, okay. So when I was a little girl, I remember, I will never forget this. When I was a little girl, I used to always do this. When I would go in a bed, I would sit, but I would never sit normally. I would always put my legs up against the wall, and laying and having my legs up. And when my grandmother, God bless her soul once again, when my grandmother used to see me do this, she used to always tell me that I would not stay in the family, that I would not stay in France or in Senegal or wherever, that I would go far, 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 far away. And she told me that when I was maybe 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 12, 15, all the time. So I've always known that I would not stay close to my family, that I was part of those people in families who are the ambassadors for their family. And this is my family's history. I don't know if you know it, but one of my great uncle, his name is Bliss. He was one of the first elected. It was not one of the first. It was the first black deputy representative in French Parliament. C'était le premier député noir à l'Assemblée nationale française, Blaise Diagne. C'est mon grand-oncle. Mon arrière-grand-oncle. Des ambassadors for our culture, our family, our history, our knowledge, and our healing techniques. And so if you're listening to this today, maybe because, it's Scorpio season, it's the full moon, we have all of these emotions coming back to us, we are receiving all of those messages, we're becoming clearer and clearer and clearer about what is going to be our next move. Still feeling a lot of gratitude for what we have now, but already, visualizing ourselves in our next move. And maybe you have all of these, flashes and all of this, and I want you to, to have that, maybe go back to your memories of when you were a child. Were you the type of child who was always having her legs across, against the wall and on top? If you were that little girl, maybe you are the one who is supposed to be the ambassador of your family's culture, of your family's ancestry, of your traditions. Maybe you are supposed to be your family's griot. Okay? So that's what I wanted to share with you today. It was very important, even though I said to everyone, I would not come live here. I would not go live on YouTube. I would not do this because, I'm tired and I need to focus on my woke sisters group. I don't know if you joined it, but we are a group of badass women with psychic abilities, receiving messages and messages and messages from our ancestors every day. And I am so blessed that these women came to me to guide them in this journey, because, sometimes when you get all of those, insights, when you get, those flashes, when you have this feeling that someone is coming and visiting you at night, when you hear all of those voices, you can feel like you're crazy. You can literally think like you're crazy, and we're not. All of this is completely normal. All of this is magic. You're just having, that sixth sense, that intuition that is more developed than most of the people. And so if you have those abilities, if you have those crazy dreams, you have those crazy visions, those premonitory dreams and all of this, if you hear voices, if you have visions, I really encourage you girls to go and come to the Woke Sisters group, because the work that we've been doing, we're having a pause this week because the first week was so intense that I'm tired. I'm tired. I said, you know what, girls? I thought I was going to be able to do the 28 days in a row. I just can't. I am tired. I am tired, like channeling every single morning the messages from the ancestors. We're a group of 30 girls, 30 women with all of your... Oh, no joke. I'm in Russia today. Said no wind in my hair, no wind in my nose. No. I need to breathe. And you know what? This morning, I asked my ancestors, I said, you know what? You asked me, guys, to do this woke group, okay? To channel for those, all of those women, and you let me become sick. Like, well, what the fuck? And they said, we won't let you breathe. We won't let you breathe until you do this YouTube channel in English, until you switch your language, and until you have your website ready in English. You see, it's no joke, huh? It's no joke, girls. It's no joke. It's no joke. So I'm breathing a bit. They're letting me breathe a little because I did all of the efforts this morning. I said, okay, I'm going to do the website. I'm going to do, the guide that you saw. I made a publication this morning about a guide that I published. I had it ready for I don't know how many days. I didn't publish it. No, I said, you know what? Let's do the work, and let's go outside so you can see me, because it was a little weird inside of the car. So yes, girls, if you have this calling, that you need to go outside, that you need to move, that you need to go abroad, that you need to expand, that you need to whatever, remember when you were a little girl, and if you were the type of girl who would put her legs up against the wall. If it's the case, I'm telling you, girl, move! All the doors are open. That was my message for today. Have a beautiful day, my loves. I have to go to daycare and pick my daughter. I hope your kids are fine. I'm sending you all the prayers and the love and the sweetness possible. Have a beautiful day, and I hope I will be able to download this video and share it with you on my Instagram TV. I love you so much. Go and download this free guide with those 6 rituals, 6 African traditional rituals for the Madden sister, and tell me what you think. The link is in the description box. Join us in the Woke Sisters group if you feel like you're a psychic in disguise. And I would be really helpful, happy to help you transform yourself and unravel and unleash the goddess inside of you. Bye-bye. Whoop.